No Glalie and ADV Inutor for y'all today, and we got a series between Heysup and Coltior. Now, for those that are not initiated within the tier, Heysup is one of the more long-tenured ADV NU players. Coltior, I feel like I've seen them play ADV more generally, but otherwise, I didn't really know much about them coming into this series. So naturally, I'm gonna favor Heysup, because the thing about Heysup, particularly within any generation really, but I've seen it a lot in Gen 3 NU, is he has always been someone that has actually varied up his builds a lot more compared to the average player. So when Glalie really took off within the format a couple years back, he was one of the guys that still did not use it a lot, relative to maybe what you'd expect. We had a lot of people talking bad about other spiking options like Cacturne specifically when it comes to Heysup, and bro was always one of the guys who's like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna still load up my trusty cactus because I don't really care what you have to say. And in his first game there will not be a cactus, but rest assured, we will see cactus later on. If y'all want to join the tournament coverage we've been doing as of late, subscribe, God please, I'm doing this for y'all. As of recording this, it is Wednesday, so Hurricane's posted a little bit later today. I'm gonna do my best to come back to y'all, get y'all those PS lives that you so crave, so desire. But you know what? Gotta do this for now. Lead matchup: Chan versus Omanite. Of course, Omanite loses to Hitmonchan. It's a rock type, so it switches, and then Haunter comes out. And we see revealed like one of the bulkiest Hitmonchans ever. Like, this Psychic should be doing at least 55 to max HP Chan, but this thing's got some special bulk to it as well. Either that or this is like a very bulky Haunter, one of the two. But regardless, this Chan ate that shit up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then the Octillery comes out, eating that Scalper Cut pretty well, which makes me think that it is just a very bulky Chan as opposed to a very bulky Haunter. Because Octillery should not be taking that little from a +1 Chan. Gets a T-Whip off, gets a Para, and then eats this double edge from Flare on up. Octopus Man claiming a second soul. Now here, Tactical Sack, of course, you don't really have anything. You're switching into Dugong if you've already built 2 water types, so Plusle ends up being the counterplay. And it's just a very free sub here. And we're going to now watch this Plusle do its best to stall out some Sun Turns from Blossom. Y'all know me, I rate Sunny Beam Blossom super highly within ADV NU. I think that it is just a very disrespected threat. Some of that comes down to people, you know, prioritizing Flareon and even Torkoal more so nowadays compared to how it used to be. And there's also a lot of bulky Haunter running around. Some of that can definitely mess up Blossom. Overall, though, I find this Mon to be quite underrated and quite strong. This exchange goes a little weird here, I would say, for Heysup, because very weirdly he switches here. Nominite. And, like, I'm not too sure what the thought process was here. Because Sun ran out, you can just sub again. Blossom still has to try to be breaking through. Like, if he's predicting Sleep Powder here always, then this does make sense, because then you get your guaranteed Sleep Sack, and you go back to Plusle, and that, obviously that's what happened here. And you just get to play out the same sequence again, but to me, I feel like you always should just be subbing there. I don't know. I'm always trying to get the Para anyway, so you know what? I put the yellow color on you for a reason. I wanna see that little whoosh radiating off of you. And we do see it. I don't know if I'd say it comes back to haunt Heysup, but it certainly did not end up being ideal due to the sequence. The Blossom never gets fully paralyzed, and essentially this Hidden Power Ice that then comes out, it's just putting Blossom about to where it was at the beginning of this long sequence. So that's, you know, that kind of sucks. But in a way, it's really good because now Vigoroth's out. You could also argue, by the way, you could have just gone Vigoroth if you're predicting Sleep Powder, and then you block the Sleep Powder and you get the bulk up then. But you'll see why Heysup perhaps did not love that line, as this Vigoroth set ends up being revealed quite devious. So sub bulk up already a little bit. Not uncommon, just maybe not as common as some of the other sets. It's kind of hard to say what the most common Vigoroth set is, because all of Bulk Up, Substitute, Slack Off, Earthquake, Return, Shadow Ball, those are all pretty common. So as long as you got 4 of them with Bulk Up always being on there, you're pretty chill, and then you just pick the EV spread that you want. And then Vigoroth gets up to +3. The game has now been won. This Mash Miss doesn't really matter, though double Mash Miss is at least arguably annoying. Vig does end up revealing EQ here, and at this point, you may be wondering, alright, well, what's its last move? Surely it's walled by, you know, something like Haunter then, right? And, you know, if you got a Haunter in the back, you'd be so safe here. Well, Golbat comes out, similar Pokemon, I guess, and it's his Shadow Ball, so Vigoroth with no stab. Basically, this set just aims to maximize your coverage, and it works pretty well because, honestly, normal moves aren't something you necessarily need as long as you can rely on your teammates to break down some of the more generic, physically bulky Pokemon that you don't have coverage for. So things like, say, what's it called? Wailord. Yeah. Wailord's literally like one that's coming to mind, as well as Pelly. I guess technically you'd rather have return for those, but as you see, they don't have it for here. Alright, another game. So in this one, like I said, trusty Cactus. And you're about to see this Cacturne put in absolute overtime, bro. This dude needs to be getting a pay raise for how much it carries. So, Chime, y'all remember yesterday's video, Chimecho, there was an offensive taunt Calm Mind set with Hidden Power Fire. That will not be coming this battle. I regret to inform you, that will not be coming this battle. As the Hitmonchan comes out, Spike gets set. We see a Focus Punch attempt flop magnificently as the Haunter is always being brought out here. And then as the Cacturne from Coltior comes out, you may think this Cacturne is safe, but oh no. Heysup understands, and a Glalie list here. Hidden Power Fire Haunter becomes even better because you're going to see more Cacturne. Yeah, just smacks it. Also, of course, compresses coverage for Matang. See another HP Fire hit. This actually did quite a lot too, so I'm wondering if it was modest or something. But it doesn't end up mattering too much because we see some double switches going on. Cacturne v Cacturne. Heysup does not agree with the idea of the honorable spikes trading, so he just KOs the other Cacturne with an inch Hidden Power. At the time, I thought maybe it was Ice, but then we see it hit the Chan again, and it's Hidden Power flying. So this Hitmonchan gets absolutely dunked on. Good Haunter pivot here as well, predicting the Mach Punch, and now you just get free KO if they stand. Unfortunately, Chime does come out, so you're not going to be able to get your Chan kill quite yet, but you do have a Cacturne, which you can once again throw out, counter this Pokemon, and yeah, Destiny. I don't know what this thing's last move is, but I think it's kind of funny because this Cacturne, I'm not actually sure can hit Chime. It's probably something like Double Edge last, which is, you know, it's good damage, but it's pretty funny to not have a super effective move to hit the Psychic type when you're Dark type. And yeah, Chan now out versus the Matang. This is a free spin if you want to get it off. It's gonna cost you some HP, but as you see here, this Chan is very, very bulky, avoiding a 3-hit KO from Meteor Mash, and then Wailord being sent out here, eating up that explosion very magnificently. And yes, whale damage, I believe, is actually integral for... No, so yeah, Heysup does win. Whoopsies! But this whale damage is actually integral to know the set. So if you look at Matang defensive, and then go to Wailord, assume it's defensive as well. We get explosion on the set real quick for y'all. You can see this is the damage to bulky whale. And if Wailord was a more offensive set, explosion would always KO. So this lets you know this is a bulky Wailord, and this is going to be relevant when you see one of Coltior's last Pokemon, so just keep that in mind. And, you know, Haunter pivots into the Chime here. Not the Chime, the Chan here. Able to pick up KO with the Psychic, as now Dugong will come out. If this had T-Bolt, this was a free kill. Unfortunately, we see it revealed. This bot has Giga Drain. So this is you run sometimes just for Pupitar insurance, and in booming there was kind of shocking, but it does give you momentum, and it just lowers this thing's HP. It's probably not going to double protect ever as well. And here it is, Huntail. This is why it's so imperative that you know the damage on the whale, because there's some calcs that technically are relevant and maybe explain some of Coltior's play. So Pump kills there, and this is still in range of Hydro Pump too. Oh, I didn't actually read this chat up here. What's going on? The fish hungers. Ah, you are at 85, so just I didn't even realize that. He got goobed by the max roll? That's crazy. And yeah, Pump the Vigoroth because you know the Wailord's in KO range no matter the set. This is where it gets tricky though, because Hydro Pump on bulky Wailord, which we've established this one is, at least in theory, it's got defensive investment, we know that. And given the team too, I think a Roar bulky whale is just naturally going to be fitting here quite nicely. Pump Under Rain does like 30 to 35, so this is technically a damage roll. I believe Coltier did misplay a little bit here, though. I think you just always pump again, because the reality is, if this Wailord stays in to attack you, all it has is, like, Surf. Now, you could be worried about letting it go for rest and getting back to full, and I definitely do get that. But I think at the end of the day, you have to go for the roll, because Metang gets revealed at the end, and now this is kind of a loss. Because you just don't have the turns anymore. So you lose Rain. And now you gotta reset the Rain. It's just horrible. Now, to be fair to him, I think under most circumstances, he does not lose the sequence because, Metang would either have Earthquake and it wouldn't be doing enough to outdamage you as long as you land your moves, or it would be Explosion, and I think that just means it's a draw. So he's like, okay, well, reset, go to the next. But because it's Thunder Punch, for, reasons that my mind is not expansive enough to understand. Heysup ends up having enough to two-shot the Huntail, and he does win this series. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.